Hey, what's good, everybody? From the Ashes We Rise, Black Phoenix Podcast, MCTR, back for one more week. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. Hang out with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on the social medias too. What's good, TR?
Hey, I am doing good. It's been a wild week just for December. And usually December's quiet and you probably do some people are probably getting ready for the holidays. Not this week and not last week. So we got some fun topics to jump into and buckle up.
Indeed, let's get to it.
All right. We are going to real quick. I normally, bring this up though, but fly Eagles fly. Just one more one more win and we are in the playoffs, MC.
Yeah, we ain't talking about Tampa Bay right now.
Hey, ain't you guys still number one?
It don't count. It does not count. As far as I'm concerned, just burn it down. Burn it to the ground. New coach, new staff. We can keep the GM. I'm good with the GM, but no, we need a new coach.
Oh, okay. I guess we're just gonna stop right there. No discussion on what's his face.
That's your number one target.
I'll be telling the truth. Let me get this titled MC, what's this one called?
So essentially, this is a modern woman who thinks that she has a hot take on the way men present themselves. We're gonna let y'all absorb that in real quick, and then we'll talk about it.
Oh yes. Okay. Sorry. Just gotta get the banner ready.
All right, well, while you doing that, you know what? Look, Tampa Bay, y'all pissing me off, man. I'm gonna be a fan to the end of days, but man, just taking L's to the Saints. This ain't it, man. This really pissed me off, man. And I'm blaming everybody right now. TR, I know you appreciate this. I got a little bit of smoke for Baker too. The offense is underperforming. The
I'm
defense
glad
ain't
I hold
stopping
off.
anybody. Yeah, I know you let her take shots at Baker, even though he's
I
improved every year. But right now, he
look,
ain't getting the job done. Right now, at
look.
this particular time, he ain't getting it done.
All I know is the Thanos quote: "You cannot live with your failure." What did that bring you? Back to me.
Hey, I got NBA. I'm a Pistons fan. They doing all right now, so I'm good.
Yeah. So you say, all right, all right. Oops. Hold on. There we go. All right. Now we're ready.
I do also think that sometimes when black men only date white women, they were nerds or they have that LinkedIn voice. And
Shit.
I can see why that's unattractive. It's unattractive to me.
What's the LinkedIn voice, if you don't mind me asking?
You know,
That
when you're doing that
professional,
code switching
super-
stuff.
Oh, see-
I don't like
yeah.
that. I don't want
Just be
you to sound like
yourself.
you're at a job interview.
Oh, no.
I don't want you having all of these unnatural vocal inflections. Just like be yourself. And if
Yeah.
that's you, okay, I don't like it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if it's fake or real.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Not-
I do also
Jeez. Oh man.
What do you think, TR? What are your thoughts on this modern day mentality that this woman has?
I'm just blown away that this is allowed to happen on social media still, because obviously men can't get out here and say stuff, out of pocket stuff like that though. But if you got to have the voice now, you got to have some type of way to command, like an army of 304s. Like, what more are men going to have to do when it comes to getting into a relationship? Because she's talking about voices and everything. Like, imagine if you're the guy and you don't have the voice that she likes. Well, you already know you're going to be number two, because as soon as the guy that she does want to have the voice, that radio voice, or with an Idris Elba type of voice, you done. It's curtains. So it doesn't matter what all the things you do or what you've accomplished. And she said a LinkedIn voice. Look, a lot of us Midwest folks, like that's kind of how we talk, proper English for the most part. And there's no accent at times. So it's crazy that she has that mentality, but no one really, maybe they did push back on it, but I didn't see it in that clip.
It don't matter if they push back on it or not. I'm gonna push back on it. This is the type of chick that likes struggle love. A lot of women like struggle love. They like being with hood dudes. They like the art of not knowing what's going to happen next, or is he going to come home tonight, or they like There's actually women who like searching through their men's phone and finding other conversations with other women just so they can get upset about it. There are women who think like this. See, you took it as she don't like dudes that ain't got bass in their voice. I took it as she don't like dudes that speak proper English, which tells me you ain't concerned about what he does for a living or how he get his bag, TR.
Facts. Yeah.
Because the truth of the matter is most black people code switch at work. I don't talk to my coworkers the same way that I talk to you or any of my closest friends in my circle. So
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why she made that point, and it sounded kind of silly. And this is giving struggle love. If you want a hood dude, go get you a hood dude and call it a day. But
I don't
us normal folks to stay away from chicks like this.
look. Barack Obama don't talk like that. I'm not saying Barack Obama is the level of masculinity, but again, Barack Obama don't talk like that. He didn't get no smoke on the way he talked and the way he danced, awkward as it was. He didn't get no smoke on stuff like that. And when they add more reasons to not date you, I mean, look at this. Hold on, where is it at? This guy is like you can't what's considered a nerd, and bro can be articulate. This guy is saying we cooked as people. See, I see a lot of men talking about, hey, we're cooked, or they don't really, have a response to, counter what she's saying in the comments. Though, if you're a guy and you say some crazy stuff, they coming for you in the comments. They're going after your ego. They're going after your manhood. They're going after anything you have posted. They're going after it. But these guys, they got to tiptoe. They got to be like, well, we can't do this, we can't do that, we can't be articulate. You can be whatever you want. Like if this is the type of woman that you want to marry, you want to give resources to, hey, go ahead. But again, this is a black woman downing black men about the type of black men that she want. There's, apparently, I mean, she's talking about the nerd type, but then she wants, just like you said, the thuggish type or the ones that put her life in danger. So that's somebody that you can't have friends like that, because those friends bring problems for you. They bring problems for any events you might have going on. You can't bring these people around your coworkers, your company parties. If you're damn sure can't go to some event where you have to network, because you're going to be embarrassed by this person.
Yeah. These comments give me hope, though, TR, because it tells me that a lot of men are peeping game and understanding what's going on here. But we all know how this story ends. That lady is attractive enough for some goofy dude is going to give her a chance and turn her into a baby mama. It ain't going to work out because she's not concerned with anything but the way you talk and the way you present yourself. She ain't saying nothing about character. She ain't saying nothing about leading or protecting or providing. She's talking about a damn code switching voice, or a LinkedIn voice, as she called it. What the hell are we doing here? This is crazy.
Yeah, as much as I'd like to say certain words or, say things a particular way, you just can't. I mean, people are not aware of stuff it makes people a little uncomfortable. It's the same thing with like when it comes to hair. I know states, specifically Texas, I know they passed a Crown Act. I know another state did it too. But people think that you should be able to wear your hair like you want to. So maybe you should be able to. I remember there was a story about a woman, and I believe she was black, where she had long hair, and she also worked near a airplane, or worked on she was one of those, not a TSA agent, but she worked on the tarmac or whatever.
Yeah.
And there was an accident, and she died because of her hair was so long. So if people believe, if you want to like just make sure you cater yourself a certain way, fine. But if you believe you should be able to accept them as they are, and you shouldn't have to like code switch, blah blah blah. Well, I got news for you. Until you own the business, you don't get to set any of the damn rules. We don't wear our hairs like that. Like dread. I'm really talking about dreadhead folks. But it kind of is what it is. Like some people are okay with it, some people are not. All I know is that when they talk about certain violence in neighborhoods, I see a lot of folks that have dreadheads on. So it is what it is. I don't know why that's such a sought after fashion statement.
You know, you just made me realize something, TR, because I was all in on the Crown Act until you just said something a few minutes ago. But if it's an issue of safety, then you should absolutely have the right to say something about somebody's hair. You talked about the lady whose hair got caught in the turbine of the plane, and I do remember that story. But another place where you might want to consider hair and how it's portrayed is the food service industry. If you're prepping and preparing food,
Yeah.
I might have a little bit of a concern depending on how you wearing your hair, regardless of what color you are. So you kind of just changed my mind on something partially just by one of the comments you made. But
Yeah. Nurse.
we're getting off the subject of this chick being goofy, man. This is they
Yeah.
put together these long, ridiculous lists of these standards that men gotta hold up to. And then later on in life, I would love to. I wish there was a way to follow up on this conversation 10 years later because I think we know where the results are going to end up being.
Oh yeah, we already know what's going to look like, and some simp is going to show up and try to wife her up and everything, and then he's going to get his girl taken by her baby daddy, who probably got out of prison, or some dude she was with, got out of prison. Like, these are not women that you can build a community with, if they're going off of like how you're speaking. And first it was, you got to make enough money, or you have to earn a business, you have to own the business, or whatever the case is. It's always going to be one more thing. The bottom line, you're not that guy for her, and you'll probably never be that guy for her. So either get your bag up or get in line with the other simps.
And I tell you this too, TR. So the earlier part of my career, I actually talked in slang at work. But what I realized is you spend so much time double explaining what you meant and the intent of what you said it. Like it becomes a time waster at some point. Like I made a comment. We were working on a project a long time ago, and I was working with a particular woman, and I said, "Man, you a bad one for that. That was some dope work." And she didn't know the proper context of bad and dope the way I used it. She thought I was calling her a bad person who was a drug dealer. So now I got to go back and double and triple explain. And I noticed this was happening over and over again when I was using slang in the workplace. So why would you even bring that there? Especially people try to act like they know what's going on with slang words, but they really don't. So you're making stuff harder for yourself.
You know where the language is a problem? If you got to call customer service and you get someone, look, I don't care what you call me. As soon as I hear somebody, they got a strong Apu accent, click. I'm like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. I can't do it. Like, it is very difficult to talk to people that are not English is not their first language. Like it is. I'm sure some people say about Black people, like I said, in the Midwest, sometimes you lose your accent. But for folks that are not English speaking, or the English is not their first language, it is very, very difficult. And they're not even code switching. We just don't understand them. So if you start, if you don't want to code switch, be my guest, but you might get laughed at or embarrassed when you try and do a presentation in front of the bosses.
Yeah, and I don't know why she doesn't understand that. And it's easy to have that type of mentality, TR, where the type of people who have that mentality typically are either unemployed or they're not interacting with an external party being the face of the company that you work for, right?
Yeah.
So they don't know anything about representing something outside of yourself properly, which also, by the way, is another reason why they'll never make a good spouse. But that's a different topic for a different day. But this is a washed conversation. I'm glad a lot of people in the comments realized that that was a cooked comment and that she was way out of pocket. It gives me some hope that men are starting to peep game on stuff.
Yeah, something like that.
But like you said, the Simpsons always they gonna white knight and they gonna rescue her or try to.
Yeah, for real. All right, we are going to. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Let's see. There we go. All right, we're going to talk about Jasmine Crockett, and let me get this ready to go. I haven't seen this video.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a live reaction from UTR, but shout out to A Righteous Perspective, man. I've been rocking with that podcast for a little bit. Black conservative dude, very logical with his points. This should be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, it works for me. I like seeing people with different opinions out there. Speaking of some conservative news, Dan Bongino stepped down from the deputy FBI director. I think that was his position. Got to say, I'm a little disappointed.
Oh man, yeah, FBI is gonna be. They got some interesting days ahead. I'll just leave it at that.
Well, he just accepted that role this year,
Yeah,
and now he's dropping out of that role. And I've already seen people give him passes and everything. It's the same thing with MTG. So I don't know what it is about these people that get these roles and they don't want the role anymore, but it's going to come back and bite them in the ass. Or I mean, maybe it won't bite them in the ass. I mean, but you push a certain narrative on your channel because he was all in the podcast and space and everything, and now he's walking away from it. So it's just disappointing. Trump sees the best in a lot of these people, and they just quit. They can't hack it at the end of the day. That's what it really is. They can't hack it.
I will say his turnover is a lot lower in this term than it was in his first term. He hired and fired a lot of people in his first term compared to now.
Yeah,
or people associated with him at least.
Yeah, and Trump admitted this too. He said he trusts the wrong people. He put the wrong people in charge. And you're right. His turnover has been very low this time around, though. It's just that I wasn't expecting Dan Bongino to step down so quickly. So,
right.
All right.
I have been waiting for an election between a black Democrat and a black Republican, because now Democrats will actually have to show policy. They will not be able to use one of their greatest weapons, which is identity politics by race. They cannot say, oh, the race is white Republicans, because now that Republican is a black man. This Senate race, I know it's still early and it hasn't officially kicked off yet, but it's going to be between Jasmine Crockett and Wesley Hunt, two black people. All right. We are about to see how people will put identity politics over real policy. We are going to see Democrats make up all kind of excuses, y'all. Republicans in Texas, you need to go ahead and put Wesley Hunt as the forerunner so we can see what happens. This is your time, Texas, to show up. This is your time. I've already been looking at interviews of Jasmine Crockett, and she didn't switch that accent up. She talking more intelligent now. You see how she talks. But when she come out to talk to black people, she put that ghetto girl shit right back on. Oh, y'all, I can't. I've been waiting on this moment because I want to see what Democrats are going to say. They can.
I think that was the end of the clip.
Yeah, that's the end.
That's what it said. 1:45.
Not run on race.
You can stop it there if you want.
Really feel.
Yeah. All right. Before we talk about this, do you want to? Do you want to go to the second clip, or you want to keep it this one?
Yeah, we'll pull up the second clip in a minute because it's going to be relevant to something we end up talking about. But I will, first of all, let me say this to you. I would like to believe that he is correct, but he's not. We know how this is going to play out. And we know that the biggest attacks coming from the Dems right now is Trump bad and I'm not, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't really answer any questions. Like, that's always been their MO. It's like, okay, he's this and he's that. I'm like, okay, cool. So what are we going to do? Like, what policies do you want to run? What programs do you want to put together? I asked this at least 3 separate times. Every time we talk about her on our podcast, I say, look, I'll keep an open mind on Jasmine Crockett. Which y'all just tell me something tell me one political thing that she's done that you like and that you can stand behind. Just give me one, because I've really been looking. And I'm not saying this to be like condescending. Like, I really want to know, because right now she's the main one on this. Everybody else is bad and I'm not. But also, as we're going to find out a little bit later, she's taking her own constituents for granted, TR.
I'm sorry, what was the last thing you said?
She's taking her own constituents for granted.
Oh, okay. Jasmine Crockett doesn't have a prayer to win that Senate spot. She is too polarizing. Jasmine Crockett, she is going to destroy the Democratic Party, and not in the sense of like just remove the like what Trump did, like just broke them. She's going to destroy them because, again, she's going to lose this race. But the Democrats have to decide: are they going to put money behind Jasmine Crockett, or are they going to endorse another candidate? And so, if they do that, you already know, I'm a black woman. Hear me roar, bullshit. Or they pick another candidate that's checks some more boxes in order to combat the black woman infinity woke card. So even though Wesley Hunt, he is black, that doesn't mean anything, because Democrats or the voters, if they're Democratic, they don't care about that. If you're black and Republican, we saw this happen in, I think it was Virginia, where it was a black woman going against a white woman, and the Democrats and the NAACP backed a white woman that was going against a black woman, and all the pro-blacks, all the simp-ass men, all the 98% of black men, all I saw was them going to say like, well, we'll never vote for her. They found some stupid reason to vote for, or they said they would never vote for the black woman. But it's like the white woman that was in question, she never went to any black neighborhoods. She never, she didn't pander to black people in general. She never met with black people. No black leaders. She's not going to those neighborhoods. She probably doesn't know any black people other than the people that work for her. So for a lot of people thinking that there was going to be a change, there's going to be some type of, the Democrats getting exposed on hypocrisy. No, that's not going to be it. But it will be exposed internally, because Jasmine Crockett, she's too far to the left, polarizing. And for a lot of people in Texas, they're not going to vote for her. That's not really the problem. It's just the Democrats. Are they going to give her money to support her? Or are they going to go with somebody else, though? Because they've been kind of quiet if they're going to support Jasmine Crockett. And she announced her Senate bid, a couple of weeks ago? Really haven't heard a lot about it. So if she is putting out, advertisements, it's not national, it's probably local, which is fine. But I would think for her, she would want to let everyone know, like, hey, these are the Democrats are holding me back. I need y'all to put some smoke on them so they make sure to get in line and get me some the DNC money, because this is a money game. And she can't win it on social media because, again, she pisses off too many people. She really doesn't like white people, from far as I can tell from what she's been saying. She does not like white people until it's time to get the white liberal money. Outside of that, why would they vote for her? And if Wesley Hunt lost to them, man,
in Texas at that.
Yeah, that would be out. That'd be I would never have guessed something like that happening. So
I'm just fascinated that for some reason, TR, she seems to be above criticism from a certain group of people. Like it's almost like how Beyonce used to be. If you even mention her name in the wrong context, they go on your neck. And you talked about the NAACP earlier and how they went with the white lady over the black lady. I've been saying for years, I don't even know what their identity is anymore. I think they should change their name to the NAADP, the Advancement of the Democratic Party, because that seems to be all that they care about. They're tying black and them to the same thing. Yeah. But again, we're going to see more and more of these black conservatives, and I'm telling you, they got thick skin because y'all been insulting them their entire life. They was built for this. Just like y'all gonna come for us in the comments just because we're challenging Jasmine Crockett. I'm telling you, I don't know anything about her. I just know her clapbacks in Congress, and I know that she always, she does switch up. And we just talked about code switching in the last segment, which is funny because she does that. But yeah, let's run that second clip.
Right.
I'm a black woman in Texas, and Jasmine currently does not have my vote. Let's talk about it. I'm not even getting into this IO conversation because I have more pragmatic concerns. Then I'll get to how I think the campaign announcement and follow-up ads are a miss. But as a Dallas area resident who was heavily involved in the party, I just feel like she doesn't spend enough time with or listening to her actual constituents. The receipts are pinned. My husband and I put in a lot of work as volunteers, okay? No money in the classes we teach to teach people how to run for office at the state and local level, as there are 120,000 seats open, and you don't always have to go for the fancy job in Washington, but I digress. I live in what is now the second wealthiest county in Texas, used to be first, with a heavy South Asian community that for a second was going right and is coming back, and there are lots of opportunity there, okay? We had our Democratic Forum last night. Guess who was slated to come speak? Talarico. And guess who was gallivanting around Atlanta? Went to our largest Democratic fundraiser, and she came and gave us 3 minutes, and she said actually some great things about the data that could support her win. But then was like, all right, I gotta go hop a flight and stump in North Carolina. And we were all just kind of like, but you're your constituent. These are your constituents. And then, of course, we get into the campaign ads that are all about her and being a winner and anti-Trumpism, which we are so over the anti-Trumpism. We are so over the meme culture with our representatives. My mom has an aggressive blood cancer. She's a senior citizen. I am very, very worried about her health care. She will not survive. Her meds are literally $75,000 a month. My daughter, I want to make sure that her special needs programs are funded. Her program right now is half day. No matter.
All right, we're gonna stop there.
This is exactly what I was saying, TR. So while the talking point of this party is he's bad, Trump bad, people like this are like, okay, that's fine, but what are we going to do about X, Y, and Z? Like, I don't want to hear about that anymore. I'm dealing with real problems right now. Like, how are we going to address this stuff? And they got nothing, man. All they keep doing is keep attacking this dude. And I've been trying to tell them, I've been trying to warn them that people are tired of that. Like, they're tired of it. They really want to see what issues can you fix that relate to my day-to-day life. And they're not giving that right now, TR. It's just feel-good legislation.
Yeah, unfortunately, if Black people that are still in that party, still supporting those Democrats, the Black and white and all the other check boxes, that's on them. I just, as there's too much information out there, and I know AI is a little more tilted to be woke or lean to the left, but all you really have to do when anything that comes out, all you have to do is just look it up, just ask it like, hey, explain this without any bias, and you can figure things out on your own. The information has been out there for a while, and even if you're not, up on AI, all you got to do is just just look at how they're slanting things. Why is it that multiple news sources or outlets are always saying something negative about either someone on the right or specifically Trump in this case? They should be worried about their medical Medicaid, or not Medicaid, but health insurance. Crazy thing is, the Democrats, and I don't want to give them too much credit, but they did do a good job of confusing people into thinking that the Republicans were holding up the healthcare in the United States or during the shutdown, and that wasn't the case. Republicans had already sent the bill through and it said like, hey, we're not going to negotiate. We're just trying to push this bill through. And here we are again, like people still don't understand the ramifications of what the Democrats did back in 2020 by extending these COVID tax, or not tax cuts, but the COVID healthcare. I don't know if there were stipends or whatever it was, but whatever the case is, it's from Obama, and it was extended from 2020 up until now. The Democrats negotiated that. That wasn't the Republicans. If they wanted something, if they wanted that deal to go a little bit longer, you should have negotiated better. You're not in power. You thought we were going to be in power, and you lost. So the Republicans do not have to change up their plan because you don't have leverage on them. And most people, I would say at the beginning, people were blaming Republicans, but over time, people started to understand like, okay, this isn't a Republican. This is probably a Washington thing, but it really was the Democrats in Washington that created this clusterfuck. But people they wake up too late. I would say I was late to the party when it came to, leaving the Democratic plantation. But I feel like there's no excuse for people to wake up now because you have more than enough information either on social media, either on YouTube, or just using AI. You have all the information. And plus, we lived through from 2020 to 2024. Biden was a terrible president. People made the least amount of money during that time frame. And you're trying to tell me you're trying to hold Trump to you're trying to act like you're all, into politics now. These people are idiots. These people, they don't want to wake up. They want to hold out hope that the Democrats will put it all together. They're never going to put it all together because it's never about you. And they told us this was the case when they brought in the illegals into the country. unsecured border wall, and they were getting government resources, taxpayer resources, or taxpayer funded resources in Chicago, Illinois, Chicago, New York, and California. Those are 3 places all over the news, and it's like you still don't get it. That right there is enough for people to know that there's something fundamentally wrong with the Democrats.
Yeah. And if you are a Dem and you're listening to this, or a liberal, because I'm sure some of you will, I just pulled up, I got this from PBS's website, TR, the top 5 issues for U.S. voters right now. And I'm giving Dems this, I'm going to give Dems the secret on how they can turn the things around, but they won't do it, but I'm going to give it to them. The economy is the number one issue for most people, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Trump administration just announced that the U.S. deficit has slightly improved this year. It dropped by 5%. It hasn't dropped in a long time, right? In previous episodes, we talked about all of the corporations who are going to build jobs here in the United States because of the Trump tariffs. So he's bringing jobs back. As a matter of fact, the town that's next door to me, Chandler, Arizona, just voted to not allow the building of an AI facility because they thought it would be too much electricity and too much waste, even though it would have brought thousands of jobs to a small town such as Chandler, Arizona. We know a lot of the automotive companies are coming back to the United States too. Preserving democracy. I actually say the Dems have a slight advantage here because they're trying to push that narrative that Trump is the dictator. Immigration and border security is number 3.
Real quick.
Yeah.
If he was a dictator, he could have. Why is he getting challenged by the courts? A dictator doesn't care what the courts say.
I know that. You know that, but they don't know that.
I know this is like so simple that when they call him a fascist and a dictator and the mustache man, it's like if he wanted to do any of those things, he would have, especially kings. Like when they ran into the EBT crisis or EBT gate, they were like, Trump, save us. Like shit. Now they want Trump to save the Netflix or they want Trump to stop the Netflix deal. What the fuck is it? Do you guys want Trump or do you not want Trump? Because depending on the situation, you motherfuckers like to shuffle.
Yeah. So number 3, immigration and border security. Dems, y'all don't have the leg to stand on when it comes to that. Most people agree that we need to take care of the home team first before we worry about the external stuff.
That right there should disqualify any Democrat. Unless they come out here and say Biden screwed up the country, Kamala Harris was the border czar, and she was terrible at it. You can't trust. I can never trust a Democrat unless they start like, hey, having this conversation. I think there's been a couple Democrats, but those people are probably going to get primaried out at some point because they're not following the program. But it's like that right there disqualifies pretty much all Democrats.
Yeah. Number 4, healthcare costs. I actually think this one is this is going to. I don't know which side has the solution to this one. This is one of those ones where I'll tell you I don't know. What I do know is nobody's identifying the root problem, which is we're the fattest that we've ever been, and we're the most medicated that we've ever been. We don't want to talk about preventative stuff. We just want to talk about how we're going to deal with it once it's already there. So I'm waiting to hear something about that.
Well, the Medicare or the medical insurance is skyrocketed when they brought in Obamacare. I guess I never understood the dirty secret about Obamacare is that they sent checks to these insurance companies, and these insurance companies had no incentive to give or to have better quality of service, lower insurance. If Obamacare is so great, why has the profits and these motherfuckers tell us all the time that they hate capitalists? They were like, yeah, we champion Luigi, player number 2, like after what he did with the United Healthcare CEO. And that guy, he wasn't even the guy that made all the decisions. He was just some guy that had the title for one of their subsidiaries. But again, we have the masses out there that do not understand how flawed Obamacare is, because most of these people never used Obamacare. And if you want to tell me, hey, at least they have to take people with pre-existing conditions, I understand that. And that's when you go to Trump. Hey, Trump, we got to get Obamacare, but before we can get rid of it, we got to make sure pre-existing conditions cannot be turned away. because all these it's not the rich people that have to pay this. It's you middle class motherfuckers that have to pay this shit. The
I
poor's don't
keep
have to
telling
pay it.
people that rich people have loopholes to get around paying extra taxes.
Yeah, they
So
have
eventually it's going
competent
to fall
tax
to the middle
accountants.
class. Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
You
They
think they're
do.
going to let all their money get tricked out by taxes? These people are idiots. You can say all you want. Shit, the people in Congress, they don't have to worry about this medical insurance. Tell me the person that's been on Obamacare that works in Congress. If Obamacare is so great, why are you guys not using it? They would
I'm
never.
a,
These are common sense questions.
yeah. I'm gonna tell you a cold thing that I learned. I have one friend that's a millionaire, just one, and he told me the coldest stuff. Tr. He told me when he gets his year-end bonus, you can opt for deferred compensation, and you don't have to pay taxes on that. So
Yeah.
you can defer your bonus out for like 2 or 3 years and get your tax burden significantly reduced or eliminated. Rich people will find a way or a loophole to not pay taxes. So the next lowest
It's,
class is going to take on some of that burden. That's always how it's been.
it's not even a loophole. It's just, hey, I have a competent tax person and they go to school for this. And it's not like you got to pay $1 million or you have to have a very expensive tax accountant. A lot of stuff is common sense. And if you do want to figure some stuff out, just go get a tax accountant. Like pay them a couple $100 and tell them, hey, how can I reduce my tax burden? How can I increase my tax? And they'll fucking tell you. That's why I don't understand why people why they think Obamacare is this great thing. The only thing that they really have is just the pre-existing condition. And Trump just had a primetime speech to America. I forgot what those are called, the specific word. The presidential address or something. It wasn't a presidential address, but he was just kind of telling us, giving us an update on it. And he basically said that they are working to create another program for that's better than Obamacare, where the money that we're sending to these health insurance companies, they're going to send to us individually, which
Right.
I think that's a bad idea because people are just shitty with money in general. But hey, if you get the money, you figure it out though. The problem is that people that fuck up their money, they are going to want somebody to bail them out. And so that's the awkward conversation that you're going to have some type of solution because got a lot of fucking losers that are just going to piss that money away and not take care of their kids with that money if they're getting the insurance money. So they got to iron that out though. But Trump is trying to get a plan because he can't outright remove Obamacare because the fucking Democrats, they're in their pockets with the insurance companies. And so they don't want to get rid of Obamacare. And so, and a lot of these insurance companies, you notice how they've been pretty quiet about health insurance costs because these motherfuckers know they've been getting the goddamn bag. They have like people get mad at Elon Musk or the oligarchy or whatever. Look at these health insurance companies and look how much money they've been getting over these since Obamacare, since when was that, 2012 or whatever, 2011?
Yep. And meanwhile, these companies like a United Healthcare, for example, who has the highest decline rates of all the insurance companies, partially reap some of the benefits of all of this. But where I will be diametrically opposed to UTR is give the people the money for the insurance. The ones that's responsible will swim, and the ones who are not will sink. So
Oh
hopefully
yeah,
you're
yeah.
not a selfish parent. Hopefully you're not a selfish spouse, and you'll do the right thing with these subsidies that you'll receive as opposed to some insurance company that you rarely interact with.
Yeah. And you know, a crazy thing that Trump did that people just do not give him credit for, and I found this out, is that Trump created, and I knew about this, but I didn't know what he called it. He called it it's the you have a newborn kid or whatever, you get $1,000 into this savings plan account. That's fucking amazing. And he called it
Yeah.
45 the paperwork is 4547. Like, this is insane. Like, I get it. People say Trump is, he's a narcissist, blah, 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 whatever. He's giving your unborn child $1,000, so you can grow and add to it. And then your kid has some type of income. This is the stuff that we've been talking about in the Black community multiple times, because I don't want to say other communities do this because white people definitely don't do this. I think certain types of people in that community will do it, especially if they're, upper class or they're in the Jewish community. I think they do stuff like that. But the rest of them, they don't do that shit. and other communities. I don't know what the fuck they do, like Mexicans and Asians. But in the day, this is something freaking amazing, and a lot of it's coming from like tariff plans. Like the tariff money is going to be utilized for a lot of any program that Trump is going to be putting out there. Is coming from the tariff, and then also we might be getting tariff checks too. I'm actually not. I'm not for the tariff checks because again, we saw what happened with the COVID checks and inflation. But this is how people are. They only rock with you if you give them money, which is he shouldn't have to even do stuff like this. But the shit is crazy to me. And this is stuff he has to do so people understand that he's doing something, and he's done hundreds of things, and this is just year one.
Yeah, and I'll end on this. Again, if you're a Dem, here's your option. You can disprove everything that we just said, or you can come up with a better plan or strategy. That is the only way you are going to win back votes. So good luck.
Yeah. Hey, MC, I already told you how they can win. All they have to do is get rid of or make some changes to the family court system and also the child support. That's how you win.
They're not going to do that because their most loyal voter base
are women.
Just happens to be not just women, but Black women. I don't think they want to see any of that happen come to pass.
Well, according to the numbers, they don't have to worry about marriage. So
there you go.
Hey, I'm just telling you what the numbers are. Don't come at me.
That's the numbers are the numbers. You're absolutely right. The numbers are the numbers.
Which is crazy though, because I do know more Black people that are married, like black married, versus well, I mean, I feel like it's kind of the same number though. But the point is, it's numbers for the macro level shows some different light, sheds a different light.
Yeah, most of the Black folks I know in my circle are married too. So but that I also realize that's very rare. So I don't take that for granted.
True. All right, MC. We're gonna talk about Fani Gorilla Grip Willis. So,
man, she's back.
Not the nickname I gave her. That's just a nickname she's been given.
I have not seen it. This is going to be a live reaction for me.
By the folks, though. Just a quick rundown. Fani Willis was tasked with taking... what people are going to say is that Fani Willis was just doing her job. No, she can... I don't have any evidence on this, so don't at me. But Fani Willis conspired with Kamala Harris, allegedly, to take down Trump. And so they went after Trump and I want to say 17 or 18 other people with the elector scam because they tried to say Trump did this, that, blah, blah, blah. The point is they spent a shit ton of money down in Fulton County. Fani was removed from the case because it came to light that she was sleeping with her lead prosecutor on the case, who had no experience working that case, banked over almost $1 million, just pretty much being her side dude. And everyone was like, well, that is a problem. But I was like, you motherfuckers lost your mind when LeBron James worked it out with the Lakers to bring in his son. But when Fani Willis uses taxpayer money to pay her boo almost $1 million, you motherfuckers are quiet. That's why I don't understand with people. You hate when people finagle the government or don't pay their fair share. They rob somebody or whatever the case is. But when it comes to Fani Willis, no big deal. I'm like, that's your money. She used her money to go on cruises. This came out in this is not even alleged anymore. This came out in a court hearing from a year ago. But I digress. So, anyways, so what the committee and the newly created committee in Fulton County, Georgia, they are doing an interview with Fani Willis to kind of get some additional details about what about how she ran her firm, because she's the district attorney down in Fulton County. So the crazy thing is they can't even do anything to her. That's how like messed up this whole case is. She manipulated the law. She abused the law. She misused taxpayer money. She ain't going to jail. And they're just having this conversation, this little powwow. I understand now why she's so reckless in those interview questions.
Yeah. So she had a lot of things that we know that she done, but she also had a couple of charges that were dismissed. So we already know about the conflict of interest stuff with Nathan Wade, which, by the way, just as a reminder, that was blown open when he started chatting with one of his homeboys who started blabbing about it to the public. That's how it got leaked in the first
No,
place.
he blabbed about it to the defense. He told
Regardless, he told somebody who was a trusted associate. First of all, I don't even know why you're talking about this in the first place, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that she was ordered to pay fees regarding the Georgia's Open Records Act. So there was some information that she was withholding some documents relating to voting records in particular cases that were asked about during this inquisition. So we know that at the very least there were one or two things that was confirmed, at least from a legal perspective, that she was
multiple
doing.
things were confirmed. People don't care.
Yeah. And she still got some ongoing battles too. She got a couple of charges dismissed, but she's still fighting right now. So this is not over by any means.
Well, the case against Trump, that has been dropped.
So, right, that's been dropped.
All right, let's get this out.
So it's your testimony today that you and Mr. Wade did not have any conversations prior to you taking office relative to an investigation into the 2020 election.
Don't answer that. That is a deliberative privilege.
Also, this guy right here, this snow hair, this is Fani Willis's attorney. Now, MC, I'm not. Well, you didn't see the case because this case took place today. For someone that's so pro-black, they have such a disdain towards white people. Why is her attorney fucking white? I don't understand a lot of these people. If you are so pro-black, black this, black that, black love, why is your attorney white? I don't know if he's a good attorney from what I was hearing from other attorneys. But again, she's so pro-black. Why is she picking a white attorney to defend her?
Oh, she gonna hire the white man if she thinks she can benefit from it. I know without a doubt.
Yeah.
Alicia, what goes on in a district attorney's mind in the process of
She wasn't district attorney.
She was.
Prior to being sworn in, she was district attorney?
No, she was not. But you asked.
I'll return to my question. Prior to you being sworn in as district attorney, is it your testimony today that you did not have any conversation with Mr. Wade about investigating the 2020 election?
Do you want to answer?
It's a dumbass question.
I know it is, but go ahead and tell it because it occurred.
Did she say it's a dumbass question?
Yes, I wish that was like CMC. I gotta send you the full link. You gotta watch the whole video. Just when you're working out, just hit play, and you're gonna be like, "This was a district attorney having a committee hearing meeting." And what Fani Willis does everything after this, because they created this committee because of her. What's this committee is responsible doing is that if they see that one of their district attorneys, because really there's no guardrails on district attorneys, they can kind of do whatever they want. And so they created the committee because it's really the Fani Willis committee, because essentially if they find out that, their attorneys are doing something that they should not be doing or breaking the law, they have to create laws to corral that. But unfortunately, Fani Willis is grandfathered. Well, she's not really grandfathered in, but they're just not going to do anything about it.
This is another reason why it's kind of easy for me to point at pro-blacks, which is a group of people I'm retired from. When did you start trusting and advocating for district attorneys? Like I thought that there was no trusting of prosecutors. That whole thing to go out of the window with Kamala Harris and Fani Willis or Fani, and like when did the change of heart occur? What drove the change of heart? This is crazy to me, man.
Yeah, and she's in a professional setting. She knows she's on camera. This is a damn near campaign video. This might be used for her future campaign aspirations or political aspirations. Like this was like a goddamn mess, man.
And she said that was a dumbass question. Well, let me just real quickly say why it's not a dumbass question. Because if the accusation essentially is saying, were you already pre-planning a predetermined action before you even sworn in against someone who's elected president of the United States? That means you already had your mind made up, and you already, in essence, had a hit list of people that you were going to go after, which is the exact same thing that they accused Trump of doing.
Yeah, guilty till proven innocent.
Office.
I didn't know that he was going to commit a crime prior to me taking office. Like, factually, it's impossible.
Okay, thank you. The date that I have is January 24th of 2022. Does that seem like it's within the range of being the correct date?
So I already stated I don't trust you. I understand you're trying to run for lieutenant governor right now. Anything you want me to testify to, I'm going to need to see.
Okay. Were you aware that in between the time of the special grand jury being sworn in and receiving evidence, Mr. Wade traveled to Athens, Georgia to meet with officials from the White House counsel's office?
I don't recall.
Your best answer right there.
On the right-hand side here is the meeting that I reference. The highlighted section reads, travel to Athens, conf with White House.
How does this
counsel.
assist you in developing laws for Georgia? Because I believe the purpose that I'm...
Hey, real quick, do this shit in court and your ass is getting thrown in jail. They're asking her questions and she's trying to distract. She is trying to, exaggerate the situation, exaggerate her answers. Like, she's doing everything but answering the damn question. This is a district attorney who is having who is at a committee hearing because of her, mainly because she couldn't keep her legs closed. You do not hire your side dude to work with you and give him an exaggerated amount or an elevated amount. Shit, we just saw that shit with Sherrone Moore, who we're going to talk a little bit more. Y'all see y'all motherfuckers calling him a simp or calling her a simp. Well, I don't know what you call a woman a simp, but I don't see you motherfuckers, you pro-blacks going after her. None of y'all. Ain't nobody going after her. Just,
this is crazy.
She's been given, and this is a crazy thing as well too, is that she is abusing her powers. And Black people always talk about the abuse of power in the judicial system. I know it exists. We saw what they did to Trump. We've seen what the Innocence Project. We've seen a lot of people lose their freedom, and then we find out a decade or two later that they were always innocent. They are creating laws just to, if they don't like you, they will create a law and put you behind bars. That's part of the reason why Diddy got put behind bars. They try to put a RICO charge on this guy. He is a company of one. They try to put, they named him the only person in the RICO. Everybody knows in a RICO, it's like an organization. It's not just one person. But you know what? They just did whatever, and they got that fucking prosecutor fired. And Fani Willis,
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, Fani Willis is doing the same thing with a lot of these other prosecutors. So when you motherfuckers complain about the judicial system, you're quiet on people like the Fani Willises or the Letitia James, Alvin Bragg. These are people that are abusing the law, who are just trying to get a conviction to pad their numbers so they can aspire for their next act, their next political act, whether that's either being governor or running for like another government position.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because she literally just said the same thing when she pushed back on the questions being asked. I understand you're trying to be lieutenant governor right now, make a name for yourself. Well, all of y'all do that. Wasn't it just about a year and a half ago where they were trying to champion her as one of the few people who was not afraid of Trump and that she should be elevated in the political space as well? And this, like, I'm seeing the same thing. It's the same playbook. So this is pot calling kettle black.
Well, I got another one for you. You have the Democrats constantly using Black women to either go after Trump or do whatever, or go after white Republicans. They never use them to go after Black Republicans. From what I've noticed, they use other people. But when it comes to politics, or people that are not in the political space, they like the Joyless Reed or whatever. But when it comes to like politics, they always use Black women to go after someone who is white and just create some type of so they can get some type of clickbait or some viral take. For the most part, though, that's what I don't understand is that for some people that claim they're the most educated and the most disrespected, I can't tell when you are fucking carrying water and bootlicking for the goddamn Democrats.
They ain't got no choice but to make Black women the face of the party. That they're gonna lose that 92% they got left. That's why they pretty much have no choice. That's why when Biden one of the first thing that came out of his mouth was I will hire a black woman for the Supreme Court, and that's
Yep.
how we got Ketanji.
Yep.
Here for is because you all need assistance in doing your job, and you want assistance with rules and regulations around how people should be a prosecutor. And it made sense to me that you'd come to the best prosecutor in the state to ask for some advice. But I'm
Best prosecutor in the state. You got removed off pretty much that case was a kingmaker. You got removed off of it and the case was dismissed. So you may be a great prosecutor on some of these other cases. Well, I mean, the YSL case, you got a guilty verdict out of it though, but it was a probation, and that was one of the longest trials in Fulton County history, or Georgia history, really. And all you got was probation on that case. Come on. And you had multiple judges removed because of conflicts of interest. Come on.
Yeah, this don't feel right, TR. This don't feel right at all.
confused as to how this assists you and what the purpose of me being here is.
The committee has a broad purpose. I'd be happy to refer to council as to the overall purpose of the committee. But my question for you is, as it relates
I
to
don't
this
think it's
travel-
relevant, so I'm objecting on relevance.
She's asked and answered that. She's told you that the TUI process goes through the White House counsel's office. She's asked, it's been asked and answered.
And it's your testimony today that the travel to Athens conference with the White House counsel, as far as you were aware, was due to a part of this TUI process that the governor's referencing.
I've testified. I don't recall anything about this.
Okay.
And I don't see how it's relevant to what your alleged purpose is. Now, your real purpose is to try to get elected, which I would say, Georgia, please, let's elect any lieutenant governor, but this one.
Screen.
You see,
These are
again, let you tee off in a congressional hearing, let you tee off in like your custody case. They are throwing the book at you, putting you in jail because you're obviously a hostile witness. And we saw this happen last year. And she was allowed to do this. She pretty much is a rogue district attorney. This is insane how this is allowed to happen. And again, what do we hear all the time from Black people, and really anyone that's a champion of justice or equal fair justice, is that these prosecutors do not give a shit about people. They do whatever they want. That is what Fani Willis is doing. And I'm sure there's some Republican prosecutors that do some fuck shit too. You should be holding their asses fucking accountable. And Fani Willis, she needs to be held accountable because she is the one that's created this. I mean, she's only in this shit because she was sleeping with the help. And again, Sherrone Moore is getting clowned mercilessly all over the internet. I'm not defending that dude, but y'all got more smoke for this dude than you do for Fani Willis.
Yeah, this is, I mean, we know double standards are a thing, TR. And honestly, had any of that stuff never leaked out, she'd probably be a legend locally, but it probably wouldn't extend it beyond that. I was kind of looking at some of her accomplishments a little bit. You talked about the RICO case already. She busted a educator fraud case wide open, and apparently, I guess they were altering scores, and there might have been some wrongdoings with money movement. So she's got some good things going for her, but that scandal right there is all that she's going to be known for. Kind of erases everything else.
Hey, MC, you're being slick, and I got to call you out on that. Who did she bust? Who was the educator she busted?
It says 11 to 12, but I didn't read the whole article.
Yeah, it was a bunch of teachers that were Black, a bunch of shit. There was
educators, right?
Okay, well, sorry, you're right. You did say educators. A lot of those teachers were in their 40s and 50s, and they had to do hard time. She didn't give them no plea deal. And last time I checked, you motherfuckers love the educators. You love the teachers. Hey, we got to protect the teachers and everything. Fani Willis has made a living, and again, I get it. She's a district attorney, but she has made a living putting Black people behind bars. Black women, Black men, more so Black men, and you motherfuckers love a cop apparently.
TR, she's a prosecutor. She's going to push for the most strict. If she's not supposed to be lenient, she's not supposed to be strict.
Hey, I'm not telling her.
This is why I asked the question earlier. When did we start championing prosecutors? When?
Yeah, I don't know.
We've talked about Kamala Harris's record in San Francisco before.
Yeah.
in Jamal Truelove, like
She put a black
successfully
man.
sued many entities and won based on her time in San Francisco. So when did we become champions of prosecutors?
Yeah, she put a black woman behind bars, and no one cares about that. If that was a white person that was running for president, and that story came out, they would have lost the election. That would have been all over the place. But for some reason, when it comes to these prosecutors, and just because they have pigment in their skin, nobody cares about their record. Like, look, I'm all for being tough on crime, but Kamala Harris had multiple cases where she withheld evidence, and that's the same thing with Fani Willis. Like,
exact same thing.
Yeah, and the thing is that people don't realize what you say these prosecutors are doing is correct, but you don't do shit about it. Like, she's been busted. I mean, we know about what happened with Kamala Harris, and they still told black men to go vote for her. And well, most of you, man, most of you simps went and voted for her. You son husbands did go vote for her. 92%. Again, thank you for the Latin bros for like, yeah, we ain't rocking with her.
To be fair, TR, a lot of people stayed home because they didn't like the choices.
Oh,
they knew that Kamala wasn't a good choice.
Whoa, MC, I got to push back on this one too.
Push back. A lot of people stayed home.
Are you telling me that Kamala Harris or Joe Biden was a likable president than Kamala Harris?
Only because he was riding Obama's coattails.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Obama came on and he was promoting for her. MC?
That's true.
Obama,
but again, Obama is ineffective. And now that we know that, Obama's message to men was, don't let me go get Michelle on y'all. What type of man is going to hear that and say, oh, I'm going to go down to the polls now?
MC?
What?
Hey, MC, according to the numbers, the majority of black men voted. So maybe the message doesn't resonate with the Latin bros.
According to the numbers, TR, Trump had more black men vote for him than ever before.
Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying. But 92% is still 92%.
That's women. That's not men. Men were like 88 or 86 or something.
All right. So let's split the baby. 85% of black men still voted for her.
I'm saying that things are moving the right way. There are more men who are leaning to the right. There are more men sitting in the middle. And there are more men who said, I'm not rocking with either one of these ninjas and I'm staying home. That's what I'm telling you.
That I do.
Like it or hate it, that's what happened.
I do believe that part is true. But hey, Trump said there was some fuck shit going on in 2020. So people you have to tell me that people love Joe Biden more than Obama and Kamala's, or some fuck shit happened. That's the ugly truth that a lot of Democrats do not want to have that conversation.
Here's a number for you right here. Pew Research Center. Approximately between 15 to 20% of those who voted for Biden in 2020 did not vote at all in 2024. 15 to 20%, TR. That's a noticeable jump.
Because with Kamala Harris, all you had to do is just be black and be a black woman and you should get the votes, right? Apparently that's not true.
Nah, I think people just realized that there was a whole nothing burger coming out of that and started demanding more and they weren't getting it. Like when she told Sean O'Malley, you need to get in line. You just offended the biggest union in the United States, who typically always goes blue, and said, nope, we ain't endorsing nobody this time. That's the exact same thing most Americans did.
Yeah, I'm glad that happened.
Review those documents. So you're asking me to look at documents that I haven't for the first time. What I can tell you is that I allowed Mr. Wade to bill 160 hours a week, and then Mr. Wade would be the first one in the office making sure that my staff arrived. He corrected their behavior. They thought that
Nathan Wade was an attorney that did primarily car accident cases. He had no business working for Fani Willis. He didn't have the experience. We're done with this clip. There were a lot of missteps with Fani Willis, and Nathan Wade was one of them. Nathan Wade was already going through a divorce where somebody stepped out on the marriage. I don't know who it was, but somebody stepped out. And that's part of the reason why this came to light, though, because he wasn't paying. And I'm not saying, hey, there probably some fuck shit that happened, but at the end of the day, part of the reason they got exposed because of his marriage. So Nathan Wade brought her down, and he was removed from the case prior to Fani Willis getting removed from the case. So I got one more clip. Let me see if we can get that started. MC, any
While
more
you queuing
thoughts?
that up, let me correct myself on something real quick. I said Sean O'Malley earlier. That's a martial artist. I meant to say Sean O'Brien. That's the head of the Teamsters Union. I've been watching a lot of martial arts stuff, but at least I'll correct myself on that.
You
But
know what?
ultimately, you get the point. If you want to argue with my numbers, go to the Pew Research Center, see it for yourself. A lot of people did not like Kamala, but also were not willing to vote for Trump, and that is factual.
Okay, that sounds like a Democrat problem.
Well, she's running again, TR.
Politics. I may think that today is nothing
Allegedly.
more than evil, and you trying to get yourself elected. All of that being said, I don't think anyone should threaten you and your family.
The Fulton County District Attorney coming face to face with a special Georgia Senate committee. The group that includes 4 Republicans running for state offices spent hours examining her prosecution of President Trump. Willis fired back on questions from the committee, and our Leandra Head has been following the story all day long for us. So, Leandra, we'd love to hear from you what the big takeaways were today.
Well, Jovina, there were some pretty heated exchanges between Fani Willis.
Hey, MC, Miss Leandra Head. Shout out to CBS News Atlanta.
No doubt. I see it.
Committee. Now, lawmakers scrutinize her prosecution of President Donald
Oh,
Trump.
she's code switching, TR.
2020 election interference case. And she was also questioned about her romantic relationship with Nathan Wade. Wade was the lead prosecutor in that case and someone who Willis had a romantic relationship with.
Prior to you being sworn as district attorney, is it your testimony today that you did not have any conversation with Mr. Wade?
You know, again, I watched most of this today. I was watching an attorney react and kind of give us the breakdown where they were going, where they're asking the questions. And you know where they messed up at, MC?
What's that?
There's a black woman on here. I don't know what her purpose was, but they should have had another black woman grilling Fani.
Did she stick to the code?
Hey, I don't know if she would have stick to the code, but these guys, they didn't know. I mean, they were trying to, I mean, they kept her cool for the most part, but they let Fani Willis pretty much just walk all over them too. Like, I was like, why'd y'all even have this even committee hearing? If, first of all, you couldn't do anything, but I understand you want to get her on record, but it doesn't go anywhere. And she just made you guys look like idiots. Like, she made herself look like an idiot because she had a lot of like just terrible choice words for a professional, but they were looking like very timid. They weren't even, they weren't really matching her energy. And I don't usually want them to match energy like that though, but you got to have stronger questions. They were just pretty much ignore her. They did cut her mic multiple times, and that was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, so here's the thing, TR. They might not be able to do much to her, but you know who can is the State Bar Association in Georgia.
Oh, shit. They ain't gonna do anything. And
Look.
the only reason, MC, and the only reason, sorry to cut you off, the only reason I know that is because the lead attorney is down in GA, and he said it's very difficult, or the State Bar Association, they don't remove anybody's license. You have to be extremely egregious, and you.
Well, that must be a state by state thing, TR, because I know some states where they are quick to snatch somebody's license up.
Yeah, they are not removing a district attorney, let alone a black woman who is a district attorney. Them motherfuckers are scared. They are henpecked. They are son husbands. They I mean, whoever brought that up down there probably got fired that same day. Like, when I say Fani Willis runs Fulton County, she runs it.
It seems like she, at least according to public opinion, everybody is rocking with her, and she's very popular down there for some reason. But yeah, I can't disagree with you at all.
About investigating the 2020 election.
It's a dumbass question.
I know it is, but go ahead and tell him, because it occurred after she took office.
After Fani Willis denied allegations that she benefited financially from her relationship with Nathan Wade, the state Senate committee began looking into potential conflicts of interest. She spoke about coming under fire for prosecuting the case against President
she was
Trump
coming
and
all
19
right.
others.
But you see, I'm not Marjorie Taylor Greene. I ain't gonna quit in a month because somebody threatens me. I took an oath.
Man, she is all in on the politics.
Yeah. I just want to get to that.
MTG taking straight.
I wanted to get to that part though. Look, as
Oh,
much
man.
as much as I dislike MTG, or I'm sorry, Fani Willis. I'm not rocking MTG right now either. But that is a bar. Because when you are in these elected positions, we've been talking about this for almost 5 years about the fuck shit that occurred under the Biden administration, and we were like, just get our people in there, and we can get this country turned around. Marjorie Taylor thinks she's bigger than her program and just quits just because she can get a hug from Trump. You got Dan Bongino tapping out for whatever reason. I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. Most people, and I get it, he has a great background. I don't know it specifically, but I know he has a background in that area. The point is, you were tapped for that role. And this is not something that you do for maybe a month or two. You do this until he walks out, and maybe leave a year early or something. But you didn't even last a year. That's fucking ridiculous. We went through all that fucking confirmation hearings, and all the Democrats pretty much talking shit, and you tapping out. Like, I can't rock with that, man. That was extremely frustrating. So I know you're gonna come at me because the damn bros. I don't know why they give him a pass. You didn't give fucking MTG a pass. You don't give Dan a pass. Man, the gutlessness. I mean, and again, MC, when it comes to Simpy being a simp, it does not have a political affiliation.
I welcome all of this chaos, TR, and I've said this before. I told everybody this was going to happen, and it's going to get worse. Trump is going to split both parties. Mark my words. We're already seeing it now, slowly but surely.
Hey, I think there's definitely 2 parties within the Republican Party. It might even be 3. I know there's quite a few on the liberals, the liberal side, but
the Dems are hijacked right now by the big 3: AOC, Jasmine Crockett, and Ilhan Omar. And in my opinion, Ilhan is the worst of them all. Like, those other 2 are like tame compared to her. Like, I have no idea how she got elected. None.
Yeah, Minnesota is a whole nother conversation though. But yeah, that was District Attorney Fani Willis being professional in a serious situation. So, all right. Yeah, it's crazy, man. All right. So next topic, we're going to talk about Corey Holcomb calls out Sherrone Moore. Now, MC, I believe you have not seen this. I saw a little bit of it. And Corey Holcomb, I believe he's being serious because he's a comedian, but damn, Corey, like.
One thing we know about Corey is he ain't going to hold back. He ain't going to sugarcoat it.
Nah, you're right about that. And I don't want him to sugarcoat it because I give comedians a pass. I don't give a lot of people a pass, but comedians are one of the few people on the short list that can get a pass because we need them to, say funny shit, talk that shit, and nobody's off limits. So,
indeed, I'm with you on that for sure.
All right, let's see. There we go. All right.
Feminist brawl. What was the one brawl used to be on the internet? Cynthia G got pregnant by a motherfucker who ain't got nothing up to date in his life.
Oh, I might be too
all
early.
The feminists talk crazy, get smashed.
All right, my bad. I got the wrong timestamp in there.
Oh, bad, TR.
Sorry.
This what happens when you do it live.
Our coaches in the NFL.
I think this is it.
You're invited in.
Yeah, it's right around here.
My blood is on your
because he might have had an opportunity to get hired again. I mean, now I don't know.
He's an emotional guy. He was the head coach.
Here we go.
As soon as I saw him as the head coach, I knew. I was like, he does not fit that job.
He's out on bond now.
Look, they got a coach who's the longest tenured coach in the NFL, and all ESPN
Damn,
does
Corey,
is
turn your
talk
phone
about,
off.
oh, he should get fired. And he's made the playoffs every year he's been there.
Right.
Coach Tomlin for the Pittsburgh
MC, you hear that?
I hear it. I hear it.
coaches. I feel so sorry for them because they have to get the job while they can get it, but they're judged on a different scale. So the coach at Michigan State went down the same way this coach went down, over nothing. Now, when he went to the girl house and threatened to kill himself, if that's true, you see he's an emotional guy.
Yeah, he's charged with breaking and entering, home invasion, and stalking.
That's not no excuse. He's an emotional guy. The quarterback from Minnesota did what the coach told him not to do when he danced in the end zone. He got the ball and he danced his way in the end zone. Do you know what they said on ESPN? They said, well, he's a growing young man. We all used to be like that. If Shedeur Sanders jumped up and said, yeah, we won, they'll be like, see, he's bragging. What's wrong with him?
Yeah, it's true.
There's a different standard for us. So this brother, unfortunately, he's got a steep hill to climb.
He fucked himself off, man.
What is his number one thing he did wrong?
Breaking in the bitch house and saying he gonna kill himself, and my blood is on your
Because
hands.
he might have had an opportunity to get hired again. I mean, now I don't know. With
Now
all
this is gonna really get me in trouble. I know what he did wrong.
Here it comes.
He actually started to believe that community accepted him. He thought that he was part of that. No, you're a pawn, boy. You're not going to be the coach of the University of Michigan long.
Come on, Corey.
You're not going to, this is not for you like that. They do things to say, okay, we had one, and you see what happened.
Right.
He was part of Harbaugh's staff. Harbaugh helped him get that job.
All right, MC, you want to jump in here?
It wasn't like
Yeah, let's go. First of all, Corey is 100% right.
Whoa. Hey, break this down for all of us.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there, right? So, first of all, if you're not winning, nobody gives a damn about you, especially at the University of Michigan. And to be clear, TR, he was winning. And what's even more important to Michigan is beating Ohio State. He was undefeated. He was undefeated against Ohio State.
Yeah.
Never lost. He was 18-8 record overall. College football, that's pretty decent. He constantly had top 5 recruiting classes. So he had the keys to the kingdom were given to him. It reminds you, TR, he inherited a program that was under investigation because of some recruiting violations under the Harbaugh administration. So he was walking into a mess.
Well, they already had it. Didn't they have infractions?
Yeah, they did. They had infractions. And again, dude had the keys to the kingdom. This got to be one of the biggest fumbles that I've ever seen. And I think they were going to work with him until, the booster said, oh, no, we ain't giving you no money if you keep this guy. So to that degree, Corey is right, because they love you when you're high. You made one mistake. Well, it's actually a big mistake. But mind you, once those boosters pulled the plug, it was a wrap. He had to go.
All right, we got a Sherrone Moore that's going to bleed into this. Another Sherrone Moore clip. Is Corey Holcomb right for saying Sherrone Moore thought he was part of the whole program, what I really think he was doing is saying he thought he was white. That's what I think he was alluding to. MC,
you can cut it however you want to cut it. TR, I know when I go to work, my job is to get results done, and don't assume anybody that I work with is my ally. Should be no different as a football coach. Get the dub, go home, and don't give them too much of you outside of that.
Yeah, Corey Holcomb gives out a lot of gems. This one, I feel like was a little fractured, but I don't think it has anything with him being white or thinking that he was white or think he was part of their community or whatever. Look, if you win in games and you beat Ohio State, you're part of everybody community, like especially beating Ohio State. Now, I bet in those circles that he ran, like it's so crazy though, because I heard people had, and this is all unconfirmed, maybe it'll be confirmed in a few weeks or so, but I had heard people that they said when a program's coming under scrutiny and the coach leaves, generally the next coach that's in there, what do you call the guy that is between a woman's breakup? Is it in between guy? Or is there another word for it?
Rebound.
Yeah, the rebound dude. Okay, the next coach coming in was going to be a rebound guy and rebound coach, and he wasn't expected to do great at that program,
right?
Considering the sanctions that they had previously, maybe he wasn't rubbing elbows with the right people or the right boosters. And they may have been looking for something, and this just fell into their lap. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But maybe that was the case, though. But I think there are plenty of Black coaches out there that have not had these issues, not have these concerns, and they work for a lot of PWI programs. So Corey is incorrect on this, though, because you can't say if he worked for an all-white program or a PWI program and you started thinking that you're right. I don't think this guy thought he was white or anything. I don't think he thought any shit like that. Maybe he thought he was above the program, if anything. But for Corey to believe that this guy thinking that he was white and he got his wake-up call, I'm not with it. There are some crash outs that we'll discuss in the second video. But for the most part, though, Corey's wrong on this.
I'm not looking at it as racial thing. I'm looking at it as like a work thing. Like I said, I didn't mention race one time in my comments. I said get in and get the dub and don't assume anybody is your ally.
Right.
Yeah. That was my stance, and that was Moore's thing. That was his problem. We started doing all. I think he was starting to feel himself. And you mentioned he was a rebound coach. His contract is an indication of that. What's that?
Oh yeah, you're right. What was his contract?
Hold on, say that again.
What was his contract?
His contract was $13 million. It was $6 million annually. It was $6 million annually, which is pretty. That's probably middle of the pack for like at Michigan. You'd be making way more than that, especially that they announced this morning that the next person they hire is going to be getting at least $89 million. So this tells me that they were testing them out to see how things were going to go.
Yeah, all right. Hold on. Let me see if we got any more of this. Yeah, I forgot it. I just saw that. I was like, damn. Let me see if we got any more on this clip.
Went out. Oh, we got to get this guy. Harbaugh, let him inherit the slot. It only take a second to get in trouble over there. If you heard Cat Williams on.
Well, I heard he was already messing with this chick for a while. So I don't know if it was anything more than that, but that's what I heard.
Club Shay. He said they could take you down in how long? 2 weeks.
Yep.
He had you think his wife finna stay with him? You think they finna be solid?
I don't know. They just showed their first public outing, and they were leaving his lawyer's office. She was the only one holding a lot of papers.
She tried to see how much money left.
I don't know. And then they have an itty bitty baby. So they got three, 4 daughters. I don't know, but they have an itty
bitty.
He'll
be visiting them kids.
You know what? All right, we're done
on the weekends.
Hey, but
he's cooked. She about to take him to the cleaners. Whatever he got left,
you know what?
He about to go to the cleaners.
Here's my thing. If that was the case, I mean, we don't know if they had an open relationship. Because that could be the case, because I'm not sure. There's just 2 reasons why she would stay, because he just embarrassed her. One is dutiful wife, honor to the family, respect the family, or whatever. I know he fucked up, but that's one reason. The other one is like, damn motherfucker, I gave you a hall pass, you just fucked it up. now we got to do some things a little bit. Well, the third one is the money, because whatever people believe that this guy, I mean, I know he fumbled a huge bag. He ain't broke. And I do hope that he gets back in the coaching, though. But that part is a bit wild. unfortunately, that they were walking out. But most people were clowning him for his wife walking out. I'm like, what do y'all want? Do y'all want him to be? I mean, he's already been embarrassed. He lost his job, and I mean, he might get a divorce. It's like people want this to happen. I don't know what it is. People were more angry with him than they are with Meg Thee Stallion, and the Tory Lanez situation. And we know Meg set that whole thing up. Well, allegedly.
But everybody made up their mind on Meg before the facts even came out.
Yeah.
You already know how that went.
Yeah. It's so weird. We've seen so many cases where men have, things have been misconstrued. They were exaggerated. And everybody's like, yeah, the wife needs to leave him so she can get money out of him. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers, when y'all see a black dude fail or on hard times with a white woman and the white woman stay, y'all just try to crush her. The community is fucking disgusting, man.
I think if this was any woman, they'd be encouraging her to take his ass to the cleaners, TR.
Oh, yeah.
You know how that shit go. But Michigan, fortunately, I just looked up the divorce laws there because I'm assuming that's the next step. Not guaranteed 50-50. So he might be okay in that regard, but she's walking out of there with something. Now, if you think that, I know a lot of people think that these open marriage things happen often, but I don't think they do. I think she didn't know about any of this stuff. And I think that he was goofy for messing with somebody that was in the same workspace as him and doubling her salary, particularly at that age. I think she's pretty young and she was making $90K. It went from 53 to 90. Come on now.
You know the other thing, a lot of people. Who was the dude that was on a motorcycle? What is that? Paterno or not? Petrino?
Petrino, yeah.
Petrino.
Yeah.
More people had smoke for Sherrone more than they did with Petrino. This guy was out there, and dude, I looked this up. That chick that he got involved with, she was with some dude, and he married her still. Like, I don't get you simps out there. I don't understand it. I don't get it. All right, we're gonna go to the second clip.
He's still coaching, by the way. So Sherrone is gonna be back in the mix pretty soon.
Yeah, no. I hope he gets back into coaching. We're gonna have a conversation about Anton calls out side chicks because there's a little bit of a code here. I feel like this chick was wild out of pocket. Like, oh, you can't blame her. He's the leader of the program. Fuck you. There's a lot of blame to go around, and we already know Sherrone Moore already fucked up. But you motherfuckers laying this. MC, if this chick was fucking, who was that? I'm trying to think. If this was Joy Taylor, these motherfuckers would be crashing out over Joy Taylor. Before I play this video, if this was Joy Taylor, they would be crashing out. Joy Taylor did the same goddamn thing, and she got fired. This chick ain't got fired. She told the program multiple times that she wasn't messing around. From what I've heard, she got upset because he was trying to get rid of her because the block was too hot, and the program was like, you got to move this chick. And instead of moving her, he just fired her. That's why she
expected, TR, and that's why you don't play these away games. You improved her life so much that she is now dependent on you. And here's the other thing I always tell dudes: any woman that you are with intimately, I don't care what she says, she is going to become emotionally attached to you. So now you gave her a better life, and now she's emotionally attached to you. What the hell did you think was going to happen when you tried to shut it down?
Yeah, he made some missteps though, but this one is specifically on the side chick. So let's hear it.
So clueless.
And shout out to Anton Daniels.
I know. I'm like, dude, this is the same video. This is so clear. She was probably going back and forth with the nigga, either saying that I'm gonna expose you or something like that. On Wednesday, this is the smoking gun. She went to the University of Michigan. It's two things in the prosecuting attorney's statement that it sticks out. She voluntarily went and got that nigga fired. That's number one. We just gonna skip right on over that part. That's the first part. The second part is, I don't believe that she ever felt threatened because she called her fucking attorney first before she even called the police.
Fucking facts.
Yeah.
I don't even understand men. if the chick called an attorney, she had that attorney on standby, and the attorney called the police. And you call to get a prescription filled, you call to set up an appointment. What are the first things they ask you? If this is an emergency, hang up, dumbass, and call 911. Now, I'm paraphrasing, but they say something like that. That's what this is what I don't even understand why we're having, like, why do people think, well, she didn't set him up, but he should have known better. I get it. Aside from him, because he's catching all the smoke, you don't think something weird happened here? How many times have we heard of, who was that? I forget the dude's name. We bring up all the time, but the kicker that got caught up for the Patriots lost his whole goddamn career. Well, I think he tried to get back in the NFL, but he was at an, orgy, and he really wasn't there, and he was exonerated. They didn't fucking give him a pass on that. He's out the league. At least he was out the league for a moment, but I don't think he ever came back to the league. Like, there have been plenty of situations. There was a basketball player that was recently arrested or given a 4 to 5 year stint in prison because he went to a party and he slept with some big back. The big back told everybody that he raped her, and he said, well, we were both drunk. You know where he messed up at? He said we were both drunk. It doesn't matter if you're drunk. If she can't consent, she can't consent. I would say that's the same thing for the guy, but for some reason that doesn't apply in these situations. It's only if the woman cannot consent is the issue. So for you motherfuckers that want equality, changing the justice system.
Yeah, I'm glad Anton kind of brought that up because a lot of people skipped over a lot of that. She definitely had contingency plans in place if the benefits stop rolling in. And fellas, I'm here to tell you, they all do that. If you're gonna step out and play these away games, you better brace yourself for the setup.
Already got
an
exit plan.
Played him like a fiddle, and for her to be as young as she is and know how to play somebody like that, y'all don't realize how cold a lot of these women are out here, man. It's crazy.
Well, he gave her the money to go get a lawyer. So who knows how long this has been set up. And the funny thing is they try to set it up as, well, he's had a history of domestic violence and whatnot. Why has she been with, they just broke up that week when he got fired. So which is it? Was he DVing you, or you're saying that now? Because it sounds kind of convenient.
I don't believe for a second DV was the issue here. Did he trespass? Absolutely he did, but I don't think this was the DV.
We don't know if he trespassed. I ain't seen no Ring camera. She might have let him in, and she's setting up the story. He made a lot of bad missteps. He should have just got a new one. If you can get her, you can get a new one. I saw this chick. This is, again, no chick is worth fumbling the bag, but you can get another stock factory Becky. All right. If he's in that position, that role, next chick up. And if his wife is giving him a hall pass, again, next chick up. Again, you shouldn't be sleeping with your help. You shouldn't be eating where you shit. But hey, you ninjas do whatever you want to do. Y'all love going after men's girlfriends when they're in a relationship. So fuck y'all and fuck your morality.
So here's my question. Did she get fired too? Because by definition, she was doing the same thing. She was messing around and creating conflict of interest with someone who was.
And she lied about it.
Lied about it.
She lied about it multiple times.
I'm wondering if she lost her job too, because she received a benefit from this, a financial benefit, an unwarranted salary adjustment. She probably wasn't. She wasn't qualified to do that.
Taxpayer money.
Exactly. This was all taxpayer money, and that was the point I was about to bring up. So they both should have been terminated, but I have a feeling she wasn't. I need to look into that.
She's still working there.
Yeah, probably making that same 90,000.
According to them, according to them, it's policy, but we know what the fucking time it is.
Yeah, they wanted a scapegoat, and they got a scapegoat. But we know that she was plotting on this for a long time. She had plans if the benefits ever stopped.
Yep, facts.
Why would you call your attorney before you call the police? If you feel like you're being threatened, if your life is in danger, why would you call your attorney before?
And I watched this live, and I'm so disappointed. And these are great people on this panel, okay, MC. But on this particular topic, they let it. This was bad. This was a bad look. I don't know if they're staying on code because she was a white woman and he deserved what he get, even though we've seen plenty of black men get railroaded by black women. But for some reason, this is more of a conversation. I mean, at the end of the day, mainly women screw over a lot of men. It's not usually men screwing. I mean, let me strike that, because men do a lot of fucked up shit. But aside, when it comes to like in the professional arena and being a side chick, it's mainly women that be crashing out, not the men. And they'll blow up your host, they'll blow up your job, they'll blow up your spot. They do whatever they need to do to embarrass you in front of the world, because women don't care about your legacy. They don't care about your accomplishments. I mean, we saw that happen with Trump. With that Stormy Daniels they try to use to put Trump behind bars or get him on the bookkeeping records or wherever the hell it is. Like, there's a lot of this stuff that happens.
She signed an NDA, by the way, and still talked.
Yeah, exactly. Now we don't care. Shit, Cassie. We got more people upset with Diddy and not with Cassie. Well, did you see the video that yeah, I saw the video. Did you know she was also trying to steal $50,000? You motherfuckers crash out if it's over $100. Let somebody try to take $100 for you and see you not crash out. I'm not saying that's right, but $50K, look, I understand why some things happened.
Yeah, don't get me started on Cassie. She's not as innocent as y'all think she is.
That's the whole. Yeah, we can't even have that conversation because you motherfuckers still crash out on us. Go watch our videos and you see a bunch of simp men. None of you men would ever want to be in Alex, whatever his name, Alex Fine or whatever his name is. You would never want to be her husband. Finding out that your wife of your kids, your queen, was a toilet essentially. Get out of here.
Yeah, I'm more so talking about the testimony and alleged testimony.
Oh yeah, when she was getting her cheese clap when she was talking to her husband, her fiance.
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about her allegedly laughing and enjoying Diddy doing some of the BD stuff to other women.
Oh yeah,
she sat and observed it.
Yep.
So
yep.
Yeah.
Or you call the police.
It sounds like she's trying to make a story so she doesn't get fired. Oh, I wasn't trying to deal with him. He kept communicating with me. Here's all the proof. I wasn't dealing. To me, that's what it sounds like she's doing. And she tried to get it.
Sounds to me like she got the nigga fired. He crashed out as a result of it and was like, "You ruined my fucking life," and was pissed off, and he got emotional and was like, "I want to kill myself" and all of that shit.
Yep.
And then he crashed out. So that is so clear to me. That is a very clear relationship breakup. You fucked up the money, got me arrested as the result of it, crashed out. I'm out $20 million plus a lifetime. You ruined my fucking life. That's what it sounded like to me.
That's exactly what it was.
But I'm wondering why she went, because it's like, if they have something going and she's getting the money, I wonder why she went. And it's starting to seem like maybe they were going to fire her too, because they were arguing.
I don't believe that she broke up with him. That's what we're getting her side. I believe he stopped fucking with her.
Yep, that's what I said.
And that's why she got him fired. I believe that he stopped fucking with her, and then that's when she went to his job.
Women only do crazy stuff like that. You wouldn't believe how many times a woman has tried to call my mom and try to tell me how much of a bad boyfriend.
Man,
you're so broke my heart. Look. That's old me. The point is, women do stuff like this. Men generally don't do stuff like this. I mean, men, in the rare chance a man does do something, sometimes they go a little extreme. But for the most part, most men don't do stuff. Men are generally okay with being a side dude. And for them to like, well, I wonder, like all those women, they generally don't all agree on certain things. I mean, no matter the topic, they generally all do not agree. But on this one, they were a little light on the comments. And they were also like, well, but maybe he's still 100%. Like, there's no code or ethic when it comes to messing with these side chicks, because she was getting a bag. She was relatively a nobody. she got a, I mean, she was in her 20s. Most 20-year-olds ain't, I mean, early 20s too. Most 20 somethings are not making 90,000.
Nope.
Not even
Not
close.
even close. Not even close.
So for all these people talking about, like, you know, he abused his power, blah blah blah. Yeah. Miss me with that bullshit though, because you let all these other motherfuckers. When Ime Odoko got fired, you guys, did you go after the wife because she was a willing participant? Corey
We
Holcomb
just
said,
talked about Fani Willis.
yeah,
Same thing.
exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these people, I'm telling you, if this was Joy Taylor or if this was what's that chick named Bobby Altoff, the chick that was with Drake in the bed.
That I don't know.
Okay, if you saw her, I think you would remember her, but or I forget her name. It's Bobby or Abby or something. Anyways, the chick that was in bed with Drake that blew up her spot for Drake, and now she's dating black dudes, and she had a white husband, white kids, and everything. Yeah, piece of shit. But if it was one of those two women, you guys are all crashing out. You guys are like, yeah, fuck her, get rid of her. She doesn't need to be, you know, she should be canceled, blah, blah, blah. But again, because of this dude, people are not holding the woman accountable. She lied to school officials, and they used her to get rid of him. And everyone says okay with that. I'm like, what is wrong with you guys? This is why a lot of men cannot move forward. And yeah, dick discipline, okay, fine. But you can't tell me she took advantage of those resources. Oh, I got one other one. The fucking the Coldplay people. That woman wasn't fired. She stepped down.
Yeah.
The dude was fired.
Right.
So
all facts. I'll say this, man. If this is the lifestyle that you want to live and you have some bread, you might want to start following Coach Greg Adams and rocking with that philosophy, because otherwise you're going to keep seeing stories like this. This chick got the ultimate come up and she was ungrateful about it. Yes,
ungrateful.
The coach was wrong for what he did. We get that. We agree on that. But we're focusing on the chick right now. You doubled your salary at a very young age, and you couldn't even be grateful with that. You had to set these plans in motion to sabotage this dude, and you knew how much he cared about this job. And you knew you probably knew how he was going to react too, but you didn't care.
Yeah, you're damn right. That was a sabotage, and everyone just act like that's fine, and she just need to, you know, get in. I mean, again, they say he abused his power. Yeah, I understand. He used his power to make sure she's working with him and improve her lifestyle. So if that's abuse of power, then hey, I know a lot of women that will sign up for that shit, and plenty of women have signed up for that position.
No doubt. And we'll see stories like this again in the future because it keeps happening.
Right. All right. I think we are done with that topic. Shout out to Corey Holcomb, Anton Daniels, even Black Conservative, because I lifted a lot of those clips from those creators. Give them a follow. MC, you want to any last words before we leave?
No, we're going to keep cooking, man. And Simps always provide us with good content, so we'll never run out because y'all ain't going nowhere either.
Yeah, huh? All right, everybody. Have a good night.
Peace.